Hello and welcome to sakitech. In today's video, I will give you over 30 tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4-inch tablet. This is quite a feature-rich device worth exploring. So you either have one of these tablets and want to learn more about what it can do, or you may want to get one of these, and this video will show you what it is capable of. So let's dive right in. Okay, so the first step is my favorite tip. What you can do is you can unlock the screen just using your voice command through the lock screen. So let me first demonstrate, then I'm going to show you how to actually do other things too. So here's the lock screen, unlock. So just by me saying unlock, the screen was unlocked automatically. Now how did I do this? You go to settings, you go to device, you go to lock screen. At the bottom here it says wake up in lock screen. Make sure it is turned on, and then you can press on the text anywhere, and you can create a command that you can use in the lock screen. So let's make one more right now. You can do 4 voice commands. Okay, let's do the second one. Let's do the camera. Press this.
Tap the mic button, then say the word or phrase you want to use as the wake up command 4 times.
Okay, so cancel that. You want to press this button and record your voice. Okay, so press camera, 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 camera.
Recognize. Now you can use your own wake up command for selected function.
Okay, so once you get the success message, you press done. Let's go back home. Go to lock screen, camera. Okay, so as you can see, the camera was launched, and from here you can take a picture right away. Again, you can go to settings. Under lock screen, go to wake up in lock screen, and you can record 2 more voice commands that you can use at the lock screen. The only thing I want you to remember is, if we go back here, make sure the screen lock security is set to swipe. Okay, you can choose other options here. You can set a pattern, a PIN number, a password for security, or you can choose nothing. If you choose any of these devices, a lot of these options here, these cool options, which I'm going to go over in a minute, are going to disappear. So make sure your screen lock security is set to swipe if you want to use all these goodies. Okay, so the next tip is where you can go into the clock widget options, and this is, I'm going to go over all the lock screen tips in one go. Okay, so let's go to clock widget options. You can show or hide the date, and you can change the size of the clock. So let's do large. So there's no date and the clock is large. Or you can do the clock, let's keep that large and do the show date. Now you can see the date. Okay, so there's a lot of customization you can do in the lock screen. And let's go over the other things. So let's say you want to put some shortcuts on your lock screen. What you want to do is make sure shortcuts is enabled, and then tap on the text to go into the shortcuts. So these are now going to show up on your lock screen. In fact, let's take a look at it. Right there. And you can change them. So you can add up to 5, press plus, choose whatever you feel like, goes right there. If you want to remove something, you tap and hold, and you scroll at the bottom, throw it away. Then you go to plus and add something else that you want, like the calendar. Okay. So now if you go to the lock screen, you will see it in the order that you have set up right here. So whatever order you have here is going to show up on the lock screen as well. Okay, so let's go back here. The next thing is where you can set up a personal message on your lock screen. So again, make sure it is turned on, tap on the text, and click Edit Personal Message. And from here, this highlighted area will be your personal message. So let me delete that and type in sakitech. Okay, I can choose any color I want. Let's do it red, and then I can change the font. So let's do Cool Jazz, and then I can also save this. And as long as it is turned on with that green symbol, you can turn this off or on. You will see that message in your lock screen. and you can see how your lock screen is being customizable so easily. Okay, so from a bare lock screen, we are going into a very rich and personalized lock screen by using these options here. And the next thing you can add is you can add owner information to your lock screen. So all you do is you press owner information, you make sure this is ticked, and just type in whatever you want. Let's do Saki. If you go back out, now it says Saki. It's going to show up right underneath the date. Okay, so here's my personal message. Here's the owner information. It could be your name, whatever you want, a quote perhaps, and here is the quick access widgets. I mean the shortcuts. Okay, and if you want to go into any of these guys, you press and you swipe, and there's your calculator. Let's go back to settings. Go to lock screen. And the other thing I'm going to show is you can change the unlocked effect. So currently what I have is I have the blinds effect that I really enjoy. So that's the blinds effect, which you can have. You have 4 options. You got none, you got blind, watercolor, and ripple. So the ripple effect is pretty cool as well. So let's do that. Now you'll get ripples of water as you unlock the screen. Okay, I actually like the blind, but let me show you the watercolor too. So if you go back, go out, that's the watercolor effect. I prefer the blind, so I'm going to keep it right there. So that is basically everything I wanted to go over regarding the lock screen. But like I said, from a very bare lock screen, you can have a very customized lock screen with your personalized message, your own information, and your quick access shortcuts. Okay, and you can change the unlock effect as well. And of course, you can change the background image too. You tap and hold on the screen in the desktop, and you say set wallpaper, and you just tap lock screen, go to wallpapers or your gallery, and just pick anything that you want. So let's set this as the lock screen image. There you go. Unlock. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing I like is you can actually, this has to do with your voice. So you can use your voice to make your tablet do things outside of the lock screen. So let's go to settings. I'm going to show you real quick what I'm talking about. Go to controls. Make sure voice control is turned on. Tap on it. So you can actually use your camera, use your voice to take pictures with your camera, or you can snooze your alarm, or you can actually play music and control your tracks and control the volume as well. So let me show you the camera really quick. It says if you say capture, shoot, smile, or cheese, it's going to take a picture. If you say record video, it is going to record video. So if you're in your camera application, and let's say you want to take your own pictures and you put this far away from yourself, okay? Here's all you have to say. Shoot. And it took a picture. Now if you want to do video, this is what you do. Record video. Okay? So you can use your voice to take pictures using the camera by activating that option I just showed you. So let me go back there. Voice control, make sure it's turned on. And again, you can also snooze your alarm or stop your alarm if you don't want to touch your screen when it's trying to wake you up. And you can also, with the music, you can say next, previous, play, pause, volume up or volume down. Okay, so these are voice commands. And the next thing I want to go over is your notifications panel. So if you pull this down, you get your notifications panel. And up here, you have access to even more, and you can swipe through them. Okay? Now, if you press the 4 squares on the top here, you'll see all the options available to you. If you want to rearrange these, you can press this pen button right here. It's going to take you into settings, and then you can take this sound, you can put it right here, and it swaps places with the GPS. And if you pull this down, the changes immediately reflect on the top here. So you got Wi-Fi, sound, GPS. You've got Wi-Fi, sound, GPS. Okay, so this is the exact same order you're going to see up here. So whatever is important to you, you can place them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position. And the next thing you can do is if you pull this down again, you have an option to change the brightness and the volume of your device. If you don't want these options here, if you think it's too much information here, You go up here and you uncheck this box, and now you cannot change the brightness or the volume on the top. Okay, I like to have them up there, so I'm going to just keep this activated. Okay, so next let's talk about some storage management options. So if you go to settings and general, and if you go all the way down to where it says storage, there's a thing here that says cached data, and cached data usually just takes up your space. Okay, and if you need more free space, you can always tap on cached data, and it's going to ask you if you want to clear that or not. And if you do clear, in this case you're going to have 47 megabytes of free space that you can add pictures or music to. The other thing I want to show you is you can tap on the used space here, and then you can get details on how your storage is being utilized. So applications are taking 0.96 gigabytes, pictures are taking 12.77 megabytes, audio and downloads are taking basically nothing. So this is a nice way to keep track of how your storage is being utilized, and if you need to free up space perhaps here or here, you can just tell by looking. Okay, so while we're in the general section here, let's go to battery. Right here, I'm going to show you one more thing. Not only can you see, oops, sorry about that, go back to battery. Not only can you see how much battery is being used by what part of your system, like the screen is using 15%, the Google Play services are using 17% of the battery. You can tap on each one of them and get some details. But the thing that I like here is, if you pull this down, on the top here you see the battery icon. If you want to see the actual percentage of your battery, you tap this at the bottom, and now it's going to give you the percentage. So it's 58% full. Okay, so you can turn that on or off. I like it on, so I'm going to keep it on. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is in the same area, in general, you go to users right above battery, and what this allows you to do is you can add extra users to your device. Okay, so if this is you, you can have a separate account for your kid or your wife. Okay, so you can create a gaming only account for your kids with their own apps, their own wallpaper, their own lock screens. So all you want to do is, once you're here, you press plus, and it says add a user, you say okay, and then you go through the setup process to create another account, and when you go to the lock screen, you will see the users listed here, and you can choose which one you want to access. Okay, so let's go back out there. Okay, so the next tip has to do with the font on your device. So if you go to settings, you go to device, and then you go to font. You can do two things here. You can change the size of the font on your entire device. So if you can do medium, large, you can see it got a little bigger. Let's do medium. But what I really like is you can change the default font for the entire tablet. So if I go to font style, you have 5 pre-installed options, and you can also go click this download tab, which is going to take you to the store where you can download all these apps. Some of them you have to pay for, some of them are free. Click here to go to the free ones. There's no free ones right now, so you have to pay $1 for some of these fonts. If there's a font you really enjoy, $1 is not that much, because this is what you get to do. So let's pick Rosemary. Click yes. And as you can see, the entire scheme, the font scheme of your tablet has changed. So if you go back into settings, everything is Rosemary font. Okay, I happen to like the basic font. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to pick default font and press yes. And we're back in normal business. Next tip, what you can do is you can go to settings. Under controls, under device and accessibility, there's an option that allows you to negate the colors on your tablet. So the white will turn into black. So if you go to accessibility under device, go here and it says negative colors. Oops, not that one. Negative colors, press, and now you have a black and white menu, but it's reversed. But the only problem is this reversal applies to the entire tablet. So if you go out, everything has been reversed in colors. So obviously I don't like that much. I'm just going to go back to accessibility. Go back to normal. Okay, so all Android tablets come with a hidden menu that you don't see right off the bat. To enable it, you go to General, you go to About Device, and then you tap on the build number 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as soon as you do that, this brand new option says Developers Option appears. If you tap on it, you get a bunch of stuff you don't want to play with. But the only thing that is actually playable in this area that is not going to cause any damage is where it says Input Show Touches. So if you press this, now it's going to show you wherever you touch. There's going to be a tiny circle that is going to track the area that you're touching. So let me show that. See that? There's a white dot that appears wherever you touch your device. Okay, so that is pretty safe. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's something you can do. So that is the hidden developers menu, and you have a lot of options you can go through here, but I wouldn't touch anything. I don't know what it is supposed to do. Okay, so this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro. So it did come with the new magazine UX interface, which is this guy right here. It's a tile-based interface. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple things on this guy. First of all, I just want to show you one thing. This is TouchWiz, this is magazine UX, and you get both. Okay, now you can pinch to customize your TouchWiz. You can add extra pages, so you can add another page. Now you have 2 pages, or you can get rid of the pages that you have. Okay, now what I want to show you is that you can have a minimum of 1 TouchWiz and a maximum of 5 TouchWiz screens right here, just like these guys. If you go to magazine UX, you can also customize this by pinching. And again, you can have a minimum of 1, so let me get rid of this guy. Oops. Minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3 magazine UX pages on the Tab Pro 8.4 inches. And then here's the widgets you can choose. You can tap on any widget and it's going to show up right here, but you can only have 6 widgets on one screen. Okay, we already have 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you want to remove one of them, you just tap and hold, and then you drag this up to where it says remove on the top right. Okay. Now the other thing I want to show you is you can tap this change layout button to randomize the layout. And you can press the widgets button to go back to the widgets. And the final thing I want to show you on this guy is if you go into the screen, every single widget is interactive. So you can swipe through this. So this is the business news widget. So it brings you news from the business channel. So you can swipe through. Other thing, you can press this refresh button here, which gets you the latest news and feeds it to you in that tile. Number 3, you can tap this options pane and you can change what kind of news you want to receive for the business widget. So you can uncheck Entrepreneur Magazine, uncheck Fortune Magazine, and let's just go for Bitcoin. Okay, you can also uncheck Top Stories. So now I'll only get news relating to Bitcoin on my news widgets. And you can do this with every single widget. They're all individualized and they're all interactive. Now one more tip I want to go over is if you go back to by the way, this is the multitasking pane. You can swipe over and then you can multitask. You can have you can have the, let me close this. You can have the internet here, and then you can have YouTube application running at the bottom. Then you can be interacting with this individually and this individually. So you can be watching a video while you're reading something or, sending an email. So this is pretty nice. You can have up to 2 windows, and you also can press this button here, which allows you to swap windows. So YouTube went up and the browser came down. You can get rid of the windows, so X. So the browser was closed and YouTube came up. So there is the multitasking pane that you can enable and disable as well from the top here. So if you go over here, you can kill the multi-window so you don't have it anymore. Or you can press the multi-window and now you have it. Oops, you got to get rid of this. There you go. Okay. But the other thing I want to show you was if you go to settings and if you go to controls, there's an option here that says smart screen. Tap on it and there's a couple things you can do. There's a sensor here. It's either this guy or this. One of them is a camera and the other one's a sensor. The sensor will allow you to do these things. So smart stay, the screen is going to stay on as long as you are looking at the screen. So this sensor will be tracking your eyeball, and if your eyeball looks away, screen closes. If it looks at the device, the screen remains open. The other thing is if you're watching a video, if you look away from the screen, the video pauses. If you look at the screen, the video starts replaying. Okay, so these are the smart screen features. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and also you can go ahead and connect with me socially on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, for which all the links are in the description below. Thank you again, and I'll see you the next time. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just throw them down in the comments section below.